Alright, well, even before I started this channel, I had these blue seats in here. It was one of the first things I bought once I got the car, because I wanted to protect my seats underneath. And I thought, hey, this blue scheme would be really, really cool. And that's kind of what sparked this whole blue theme, if you will, that I really, really like. It's fantastic, I think. Came out great. So, but since this is now over 3.5 years old, they've held up pretty well. It says it's made from real leather, but I'm not 100% convinced there. But it started to rip up right here. And at first there was just a little flap up top that came up, and I kind of super glued it down, and that kind of held up for a good 3-4 months, but now it's starting to really come apart right here. And so I'm like, okay, maybe it's time for some new seats. But I mean, this one's perfectly fine, and there's no other flaws over here either. So for the most part, it's held up really, really nicely. But this is kind of starting to annoy me. So I thought I'd pull the trigger and grab some new seats. So we're gonna put those in today. So here's the new ones I got. Somewhat similar to the other ones. Slightly different. There's this like blue logo up here that I kind of like, and these wavy blues are kind of nice too. The other ones are just kind of accented on the side. So this one has a little bit more blue, and it should look really nice, I think, once installed. So I'll get that going here, and we'll take a look at what's up front. Now, these seat covers are actually the third iteration of what I originally ended up with. The first ones were actually white accented, or more of a silver, and it originally went with my silver center console cover too. I then tried some red ones that I like randomly found at Walmart. They were like, you know, universal fits, but they didn't really fit right either. And it just kind of looked weird with the red. And then I found these on Amazon originally, and like I said, they've worked great. Like these are accented on the side and then have some blue stitching down the middle. The other ones are going to be more flared on the outside with the big logo right here. So it's a little bit of a change. We'll see if it fits right. That one's a universal fit also. It's not made for a BMW X3. So, I mean, see, even these, since they were universal, I had to like concoct how this even fits. And this thing always kind of poked out on me a little bit, which I always thought was weird. But then underneath I had to like jerry rig how these things like connect up. But we'll see if the other ones are just like it. But I have not taken these off at all since I first put them on like 3.5 years ago. I'm kind of suspecting the underneath is all bad and coming off, and you can even see like the dust that's getting on my buttons here from the underside. So I'm expecting not a pretty picture once I take these off. So we'll see what happens. So there it is. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but you can see all the stuff coming off from the seat underneath. Which begs the question, is this just a poor design of the underbelly? Because you could already tell when I was putting it on that it was gonna all disintegrate on me over the years, and you can tell where it was really rubbing there and falling apart. So, you know, it is what it is, but this doesn't look too bad to clean up. And yeah, I have not seen this seat since like the first or second week after I bought the car. So there's what I had. Here's the original. You can tell I like the seat covers way, way, way better with that accent pop. This is just pure black as default. So yeah, works much better, I think. I'll get the other one off and clean this up a bit and see about putting that new one on. It's like a brand new car. This side isn't nearly as bad as I kind of suspected, but still a little bit dusty. Yeah, the original seats looking weird after years of blue. But that will soon change, hopefully, if the new ones fit. Cross your fingers. And yeah, just a rare peek at the originality of what's underneath. Here's an oddity I noticed. My like seatbelt thing turned white. I guess it's covered in something, but it just kind of looks funny, which you normally don't see because I have these like protectors right here that like go over it so that it it actually goes down so you don't drop stuff in between the seats. It's actually extremely helpful, I found. But just weird that this is what it looks like, just poking out like that. Kind of funny. So all this stuff is actually vacuuming up very easily. I have this little handheld guy that I'm just doing like this. Look at that, like brand new. Here's a quick comparison between the two. Old one on the bottom, new one on the top. Can already see a bit of a problem. This seat looks like it extends longer than this one, which kind of fit perfectly. So I don't know. We'll see what happens when I actually put them on. But you can see the difference in design, yeah, how they look side by side. All right, well here it is installed, but I can already tell you I'm not too happy with it. It doesn't really sit fully flush right now, and maybe it's just because it's brand new and needs to settle in some. Okay, whatever, fine. But it kind of looks weird right now. This doesn't go all the way to the bottom, as in like it's an inch or so short of being able to sit flat from where it is at the top, because it's all snug up there and it's not coming down anymore. So that kind of looks weird. But my biggest problem, which was my fear before, is this front seat area. It just looks goofy with it folded over like this. I didn't bother to do the other one, otherwise it would still look something like that. I also didn't notice this blue part flared up like this real tall, and that kind of looks silly too. So honestly, I think this one's going to be a dud for me, and I'm going to revert back to my old seats and possibly even see if I can find brand new ones, the same ones, because I really, really like those. Those were the Carvana ones. What is the brand? It's right here on the back of the one next to me. Coverado was what I had before, and these are just generic unbranded ones. So I think this was a grand experiment, but it just ain't gonna work. So I'm gonna revert back to what I had before. Oh, the shame. I might look for some other ones that might work, but for now, this one is, it's dead. The dream is gone. To be continued at a later date.